Greetings. This presentation deals with e-commerce part 3, which includes e-commerce security systems, business to consumer model, and EDI. First, we'll discuss about security. Security is an essential part of any transaction that takes place over the internet. Customers will lose their faith in e-business if security is compromised. There are certain essential requirements for safe e-payment and transactions, which includes confidentiality, integrity, availability, authenticity, non-refutability, encryption, and auditability. First, we'll discuss about confidentiality. The information should not be accessible to an unauthorized person. It should not be intercepted during the transmission. The information should remain confident throughout the data transmission. Integrity. The information should not be altered during its transmission over the network. The information altered will be of no use to the receiver. Availability. The information should be available whenever and wherever required within a time limit specified. The information received will be of no use to the receiver. Authenticity. There should be a mechanism to authenticate a user before giving him an access to the required information. Non-refutability. It is a protection against the denial of order or denial of payment. Once a sender should send a message, the sender should not be able to deny sending the message. Similarly, the recipient of a message should not be able to deny receiving the message and the receipt. Encryption. Information should be encrypted and decrypted only by an authorized user. Unauthorized encryption will not do any good for the data. Auditability. Data should be recorded in such a way that it can be audited for integrity requirements. There are certain measures for security. These major security measures includes encryption, digital signature, and security certificates. First, encryption. It's a very effective and practical way to safeguard the data being transmitted over the network. The sender of the information encrypts the data using a secret code, and only the specified receiver can decrypt the data using the same or a different secret code. That is called as encryption techniques, encryption and decryption techniques. Digital signature. Digital signature ensures the authenticity of the information. A digital signature is an e-signature authenticated through encryption and password. Security certificates. Security certificate is a unique digital ID used to verify the identity of an individual website or user. Now we'll discuss the security protocols in Internet. We will discuss here some of the popular protocols used over the Internet to ensure secured online transactions. First one is SSL, that is Secure Socket Layer. It is the most commonly used protocol and is widely used across the industry. It meets the following security requirements: authentication, encryption, integrity, non-refutability. For example, HTTPS is to be used for HTTP URLs with SSL, whereas HTTP is to be used for HTTP URLs without SSL. HTTPS includes Secure Socket Layer protocol within it, which provides more security, whereas just HTTP provides just mere security for safer transmission. Secure Hypertext Transfer Protocol, that is SHTTP. SHTTP extends the HTTP Internet Protocol with public key encryption, authentication, and digital signature over the Internet. Secure HTTP supports multiple security mechanisms, providing security to the end users. SHTTP works by negotiating encryption scheme types used between the client and the server. Next one is Secure Electronic Transaction. It is a secure protocol developed by MasterCard and Visa in collaboration. Theoretically, it is the best security protocol. It has the following components. Cardholder's digital wallet software. Digital wallet allows the cardholder to make sure purchases online via a point and click interface. Merchant software. This software helps merchants to communicate with potential customers and financial institutions in a safe and secure manner. Payment gateway server software. Payment gateway provides automatic and standard payment process. It supports the process for merchant certificates requests. Certificate authority software. This software is used by financial institutions to issue digital certificates to cardholders and merchants and to enable them to register their account agreements for secure electronic commerce. The next topic which we are going to discuss is B2C model. We have discussed all e-commerce business models in part 1 itself. This is again just a detailed elaboration on B2C model. In B2C model, a business website is a place where all the transactions takes place directly between a business organization and a consumer. This is a typical example which explains how this B2C model works. There is a customer, website and business organization. The customer communicates with the website. The website and business have data exchange, order processing exchange between them. And the customer orders something through the website. The website directly goes to the business organization, and the business organization supplies what the customer or consumer wants. The B2C model, a consumer goes to the website, selects a catalog, orders a catalog, and an email is sent to the business organization. After receiving the order, goods are dispatched to the customer, as mentioned in the diagram. Following are the key features of the B2C model. Heavy advertising required to attract the customers, high investment in terms of hardware and software, support or good customer care service. Consumer shopping procedure. Following are the steps used in B2C e-commerce. A consumer is a person who determines a requirement, searches available items on the website meeting the requirement, compares similar items for price, delivery date or any other terms, places the order, pays the bill, receives the delivered item and review or inspect them, consults the vendor to get after service support or returns a product if not satisfied with the delivered product. The next concept is disintermediation and re-intermediation. In traditional commerce, there are intermediating agents like wholesalers, distributors and retailers between the manufacturing and the consumer. Whereas in B2C websites, a manufacturer can sell its products directly to potential customers. This process of removal of business layers responsible for intermediary functions is called disintermediation. This diagram is a typical example of disintermediation. Here, the manufacturer contacts a wholesaler, and from wholesaler it goes to the distributor, from distributor to the retailer, and finally to the consumer. Whereas in case of disintermediation, the manufacturer can directly contact the consumer, or the manufacturer have the direct contact with the consumer. This is called as direct marketing system, and this type is called as traditional distribution system. Nowadays, new electronic intermediary tools such as email and product selection agents are emerging. This process of shifting of business layers responsible for intermediary functions from traditional to electronic medium is called re-intermediation. These are some of the re-intermediating retailers. Your electronic intermediary pre-email, partial electronic intermediary partial email, electronic distributor, the electronic broker. The next concept which we are going to discuss is e-commerce EDI. EDI is nothing but electronic data interchange. EDI stands for electronic data interchange. EDI is an electronic way of transferring business documents in an organization internally between its various departments or externally with suppliers, customers or any other subsidiaries. In EDI, paper documents are replaced with electronic documents such as Word documents, spreadsheets, etc. This is an example. This is Enterprise 1, which includes some departments like sales, purchasing, manufacturing, distribution and finance. The same way, Enterprise 2 also have departments like sales, purchasing, manufacturing, distribution, and finance. These two enterprises exchanges electronic data. Some examples of electronic data include structured business documents, standard formats, and direct communication. So it eliminates the need for paper. So it is called as electronic data interchange. EDA documents. Following are the few important documents used in EDA: invoices, purchase orders, shipping requests, acknowledgement, business correspondence letters, and financial information letters. Steps in an EDA. Following are the steps in an EDA system. A program generates a file that contains a processed document. The document is converted into an agreed standard format. The file containing the document is sent electronically on the network. The trading partner receives a file, and an acknowledgement document is generated and sent to the generating or originating organization. Advantages of using EDA system. Following are some of the advantages of having an EDA system. Reduction in data entry errors. Chances of errors are much less while using a computer for data entry rather than manual entry. Shorter processing life cycle. Orders can be processed as soon as they are entered in the system. It reduces the processing time of the transfer documents. Electronic form of data. It is quite easy to transfer or share the data as it is present in electronic format. Reduction in paperwork. As a lot of paper documents are replaced with electronic documents, there is a huge reduction in paperwork. Next one is cost effective. As time is saved and orders are processed very effectively, EDA proves to be highly cost effective. Next one is standard means of communication. EDA enforces standards on the content of data and its format, which leads to clear communication. Thank you.